In this video, I'll be making salmon cakes. So here's the scenario. I had forgotten to defrost any kind of meat and I was starving. All I had was a couple cans of salmon and a few eggs, but for this recipe that's really all you need. Well, like 7 more things, but you get the idea. Welcome to Keto is the Worst. Now, when I filmed this video, it was about like a month back and I wasn't doing intros, or I wasn't even thinking about doing one. So I figured why not turn on the camera. I'm in my editing chair and let's get a quick intro out. The purpose of this channel is to show people that a low carb lifestyle is not at all unhealthy. It is sustainable long term and is not as restrictive as they say it is. If you're interested in learning how a ketogenic diet can work for you and your long-term weight loss and fitness goals, then you should do something and maybe subscribe or follow or watch and do all the things, right? We're still early in this process. This is only my 2nd video, but I am pushing out a lot of content in a very short amount of time, and it'll be great if you're there to see it. Now, intro over, let's get to the video. First things first, we're gonna start with an onion. Now, I'm only cooking for myself, so I'm only using about 1/4, if that, of an onion. Now, this part is really important. Make sure you find the right groove to make your first cut into. But with the pepper, it's the same thing, just about 1/4. Now, this part is pretty important because if you cut these too big, the salmon cake will fall apart. So you want to dice these up really small. So once you go through the first time, you want to bring it all back and do it one more time. And again. And I guess again. I swear it better not be another time. Okay, cool. So the peppers and onions have to go in first because the patties themselves don't take that long to cook. So we want these to be soft so we're not eating raw onions. I don't think I need to be showing you me opening a can of salmon, but after this you want to drain all the liquid out and squeeze as much as you can using a paper towel or a cheesecloth, because if not, then you'll end up with very soggy crab cakes. Well, these are salmon cakes. You'll end up with very soggy salmon cakes, and what we want is a very good crust. Empty it all out into a bowl. Now, I used 2 cans of salmon, but I did not film the second one, so just imagine that I did. Check on your onions and peppers, and then when they are soft enough, add that into the bowl as well. Then remember that there's a camera in front of you and you should be showing the top of the pan and not the bottom of it. For the mayo, we're going to add 2 to 4, 6 tablespoons. I'm not really good at measurements, but do whatever feels right for you. Next is pork rinds. These are a great substitute for breadcrumbs. Now, if this isn't for you, you can also use Parmesan cheese. I use this enough that I saw fit to invest in a large tub of pork rind crumbs. I'm hoping that it pays off. Next, add an egg into the bowl, then realize that this is way too small and use a larger bowl. Now let's run through these ingredients. It's first salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, and cayenne pepper. Now, just a note, if you go too heavy on that pepper, you might just mess this whole thing up. I will not make that mistake again. Mix it all together and we can just speed past this. Roll out some parchment paper and it's time to form our patties. Decide how big you want these and section them off. I started with half and realized this was too big, so I went into thirds. Do me a favor, use your hands instead of a spoon. It takes way too long to do it this way. Put some butter over medium to high heat and drop in your salmon cakes. Let's get started on our dipping sauce. It's going to be olive oil, garlic paste, mayo, red pepper flakes, and parsley. Mix that all together until you get a nice smooth consistency. Sometimes I'll even squeeze in a bit of lemon into this. Back to the stove, we're checking to see that a nice crust has formed on the bottom, and once you get that golden color, then it's time to flip. I'm going to really need to consider becoming a lefty because you're just seeing my arm right now. That cut made it look like it only takes a couple seconds to cook, but it will take a few minutes per side to cook fully through. Now, this is the last video on my camera roll, which means we are done. While you watch me awkwardly pour this sauce on the salmon cakes, I would like to thank you for watching. And if you are interested in expanding your low carb menu, check out my Instagram where I post recipes every day. I will see you in the next one.